Center is ready to open. The center opens to the public tomorrow on Juneteenth with the grand opening ceremony for invited guests. Begins in about an hour from now. The Obamas invited the public to register for a watch party of today's ceremony. Gates opened there about an hour ago. Good morning, everyone. I'm Terrell Brown.
Welcome to Exposed News Outlet, where we shed light on topics that matter most. I'm your host, Andrea. Right now, in a moment where darkness and division seem to compete for every headline, something extraordinary happened this week in Chicago. Something that reminded millions of people what it feels like when hope walks through the door and says, "I'm still here." The Obama Presidential Center, nearly a decade in the making, $850 million, 19 acres of vision, opened its doors on Juneteenth. June 19th, 2026. The timing was not an accident. It was a statement. Stay with me, because this one is for the soul. What is the Obama Presidential Center? Let's start from the top, because this is not your typical presidential library. Not even close. The Obama Presidential Center sits in Jackson Park on Chicago's South Side, the neighborhood where Barack Obama organized communities as a young man, where Michelle Obama grew up, where their roots run deep, and they build it exactly the way you would expect them to, for the people. The words, "You are America," carved into the stone facade, light passing through the lettering into the interior. The main museum tower carries a message carved right into exterior walls. Words from President Obama's 2015 Selma speech, quote, "You are America," end quote. When the sun hits that building, light passes through those carved letters into the space inside. A building that literally lets hope in through the walls. The campus includes a world-class museum, a branch of the Chicago Public Library, a 45,000 square foot athletic facility called Home Court, built around an NBA-worthy basketball court. Home Court Athletic Center, Sledding Hill Community Gardens.
With some of his buddies in the home court yesterday, and exactly seeing him taking that shot, he hit a few three-pointers. I will say, still playing. People did get out of his way. We didn't want any busted lips going into this week.
Protect the moneymaker.
Exactly.
Community gardens, green space, walking trails that connect to the Museum of Science and Industry, and a water terrace honoring Obama's mother, Ann Dunham.
So here's the Ann Durham Water Terrace. Yeah, look at that. They got a nice center there with the sculpture. Look, Ernie, they got the mist. Oh, you see it? Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah, the rainbow with the Obama. Just like the logo. It's just like the logo. That's what it is. It makes the Obama logo with the rainbow. I like that. Very nice. Yeah, look at this beautiful sculpture. part of the Obama Presidential Center here in Chicago, Illinois. Grand opening. Juneteenth. Look at that. It's like a belly button. Yeah. I like this fountain. Look how it's bubbling out there. It goes down. Oh, it goes underneath the water. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Yeah. Very nice. Very smooth. Yeah. How you doing? That's good. Yeah.
And here is the detail that got me. They deliberately added a sledding hill on the property, a hill in Chicago, so that the children of the South Side could have somewhere to sled down in the long winter months. That tells you everything about who built this place and who they built it for. Segment 2, the museum. America's first fully digital presidential museum. The museum itself breaks new ground. This is the first fully digital presidential museum in American history. There are no official papers on display. Instead, visitors walk through an immersive, high-tech exhibits covering every chapter of the Obama presidency and their personal story. Floor by floor, you experience his journey.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
So the last couple of times President Obama has visited the museum, the exhibits were first beginning to be put together, and so he was able to get a little bit of an inkling of what it was going to be like. Some of the films had already been activated, and he took time to just sit and absorb the films and appreciate how they interplayed with the artifacts and told the story of his presidency.
I love that guy.
Hasn't changed a bit. By the way, my suitcases were not on top of the car.
This great nation.
Good speech. I gave some good speeches.
And we hope that when our visitors go through the museum, they see not just the Obama story, but how the Obama story relates to their stories.
I like this. That's tactile.
People will like it.
Our exhibits are designed to elicit information from them, from our storybook to our touch screen that asks, tell us who was important in your life and what were their values and what did you learn from them? And I think when most people visit museums, it's a one-way street, and ours is very much an engagement and two-way street, based firmly in storytelling.
Many presidential libraries and institutions have some of these iconic features. There are some that have the replica of the limousine or Air Force One, but President Obama chose the Oval Office to give people an opportunity to see what it's like to sit behind the resident desk. There's Mrs. Obama's iconic dresses from both terms located there as well. You'll see some of those iconic memorabilia and features throughout both terms in the campaigns as well. So the exterior of the building is designed in the shape of four hands coming together. And so with that, it's to hopefully have people reflect on the power of the collective we and people coming together to bring about change.
Yeah, right now I'm taking out some peas. We're getting peppers later today. So
President Obama chose Chicago because it's a city that has given so much to them. Mrs. Obama, a native of the south side of Chicago, President Obama, who got his organizing start right here on the south side of Chicago. They also wanted to give back to a community that's given so much to them, and that's why they chose the south side of Chicago. This is home. I want people to be curious. I also want people to know that this is a safe space for them to come and, yes, reflect on the historic moment of his presidency and the campaigns, but also to come together as a community. This campus should inspire people to be hopeful and to think about the actual change they can make in their own communities.
Thank you. One more camera.
From Barack Obama arriving in Chicago at age 23 in what he himself called a, quote, janky car, end quote, from New York, to becoming a state legislator, then a U.S. Senator, then President of the United States. One of the largest attractions, a life-sized walk-in replica of the Oval Office, exactly as it looked during the Obama administration, before the tacky gold, fool's gold Dollar Tree sconces. The Resolute desk is there. You can sit in the chair behind it. The top drawer holds a handwritten letter, the actual letter that George W. Bush had written. A handwritten letter from his predecessor, President George W. Bush. And President Obama's beloved BlackBerry phone. Let me show you this clip of visitors exploring the Oval Office replica, including school children sitting behind the Resolute desk.
Mandela to the White House.
Dem Fall der Mauer, das werden wir dem amerikanischen Volk nie vergessen.
I think what you said was good.
So this is early. This is May 8th, 2009. The president had only been there, in office a few months.
And this little kid comes in with his dad and says, my friends tell me my haircut is just like yours.
Oh my goodness. He's 5 years old.
And with that, Barack Obama bends over and says, go ahead and touch it. And there's the exact moment that Jacob's touching his head.
This picture says so much. This is America's first black president. Little black boy, African-American boy. This is in the Oval Office, yes?
This is in the Oval Office. And I think it really resonated with young kids of color. Mm-hmm. Here's this 5-year-old African-American kid touching the head of the President of the United States that looks like him.
The Oval Office is almost synonymous with the American presidency. So in keeping with tradition, the Obama Presidential Center has an exact replica of the Oval Office, just as it was during President Obama's time in the White House. It's already one of the most popular exhibits in the museum. Visitors curl in long lines around the outside wall for their chance to sit behind the Resolute desk, their chance to peek at the remarkable treasures in this space, the lamps, the curtains, the wallpaper, the trinkets on the shelves, every detail painstakingly recreated to look just like the original. Every detail except one. A detail everyone who's ever spent time in the real Oval Office will make sure you know.
Do we think these are real apples?
I do not.
He actually ate the apples also.
Yes, we all did.
Everybody came in and took apples, particularly kids. Don't try to eat those stuff. Those are real.
No, I figured that those aren't real
replica.
apples. What do you want people to take from this space? Is there some small...
Not an apple, because they're not real anymore.
Okay, they're not real.
That was Michael Smith. He's the interior designer who was chosen by President Obama in 2009 for the makeover of the real Oval Office. It was a case where Mr. Smith goes to Washington and then to Chicago to make sure the replica here is just right. Michael Smith is a close personal friend of the former president. Smith understands how the president thinks and how he works. And on our personal tour, he explained how they work together on every detail inside this room. including the apples.
Well, here we are.
Yes.
In the Oval Office,
Yes.
almost exactly as it was during those 8 years.
Except for the view, it's pretty accurate. I have to tell you, I always start to tear a little bit.
When you're walking,
So
you still
weird.
do?
Still. Because it's so representational, it reminds me of 8 years.
And you were integral in creating this room. Now, it's interesting, though, you didn't change the Oval Office right away because
Right.
if we, let's go back in the Wayback
Right.
Machine, we remember that
Right.
President Obama inherited a financial crisis.
Relatively intense financial crisis.
Yes. And so a decision was made
Yes.
that you were going to leave the Oval as it was,
Yes.
as he inherited it, because...
Well, it was just people were suffering. There was too much instability, and he being very moral and concerned would never, it just wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right time. So I think it took a long time. It gave me a chance to plan, and I think things like this carpet we're standing on, is text, right? My thing was text. This is a president who loves text. I think text is so important to him. So to give him quotes that meant something to him, which is the basis of his carpet, was something much more interesting than a vase of flowers or cherubs or, this is sort of fitted to him. The shelves are crazy with the detail. So one thing that's really interesting is this obsession with trying to find the detail, the thing that had meaning. When he called me, there were plates. There were Chinese, these bookcases for Reagan, Bush, had held a series of Chinese exports plates that had the presidential seal on them. It was just not his thing. So he called me and he said, I really don't like plates. I don't want plates. What can we have? I don't want dishes, I think is what he said. So I called the Smithsonian and I said, what do you have in the way of workable models of patents? And they had incredible, the cotton gin. This is a telegraph
So that's what
model.
this is.
It's a working model. This is a recreation of that working model. But
Samuel L.B. Morse.
Working telegraph.
Samuel Morse.
Right. And my whole thing with these was look, these are pieces of American ingenuity, American exceptionalism. They were beautiful sculptural, and they were so Barack Obama, right? So he would be curious, and he loved it. So the Smithsonian...
Again,
Words, and an idea, a crystallization, a three-dimensional model of American exceptionalism and invention, literally invention.
And at the very top of the museum, the Sky Room, a floor-to-ceiling panoramic views of Chicago's south and west sides, Lake Michigan shimmering in the distance. Overhead, a monumental artwork by artist Idris Khan. Words from Obama's Selma, remarks spiraling upward into the light. A room designed to make you feel like an ascent is still possible. Segment 3, the portrait, the Obamas, springing forth. Njideka Akunyili Crosby, the Obama springing forth, 2026 Hope and Change Lobby. Now I have to tell you about the portrait because when you hear what went into it, you will understand why people stood in front of it and cried. The Obama Presidential Center commissioned the first ever official joint painted portrait of Barack and Michelle Obama. Created by Nigerian-born, Los Angeles-based artist Njideka Akunyili Crosby. The work is titled The Obamas Springing Forth, and it is a masterpiece. Akunyili Crosby uses her signature photo transfer technique from a distance. The painting looks like a rich in texture and vivid color, but when you step closer, you realize that every element, the wallpaper, the rug, the window frame, their clothing, even patterns on their skin, is made of hundreds of teeny individual photographs woven together, at least 500 layered images, creating one masterpiece. The artist and her team spent months reviewing podcasts, interviews, and books to make sure. As she put it, every reference was balanced between them. She said, "I would actually count to make sure the references were not of him or of her. It really is about the two of them." Behind the couple, Michelle Obama's childhood home on Chicago's South Side Shore, in the layers, a childhood photograph of Michelle standing next to her father, Fraser Robinson's 1970 Buick Electra. The Martin Luther King Jr. bust from the Obama Oval Office, the cover of Stevie Wonder's 1972 Talking Book, the first record album Michelle ever received, family Grammys, photos of Sasha and Malia as little girls, plants and flowers tracing every place the Obamas have lived, Chicago, Kenya, Hawaii. When Michelle Obama saw it for the first time, she said, quote, "It's us, and all of the stories within the story," end quote. The portrait hangs in the Hope and Change lobby. No ticket required. Free for anyone who walks through those doors. Let me show you this clip of Barack and Michelle seeing the portrait together for the first time, June 14th, 2026.
Energy shift.
Hi!
How are you?
So nice to see you. Before we get any commentary in, we just got to soak it in.
It's us. And
It is so
all
pretty.
of the stories
Look at
within the
your,
story.
Your house was behind there.
Euclid. Oh my God, you got everything in there.
My only real question is, how come you didn't dye my hair in the photo?
It's beautiful.
Don't they usually touch it up a little bit?
I thought about it.
What was your sort of sequence?
So I did the drawing first of the two of you. We read all your books. We listened to all the interviews you all have done, podcasts and videos. My whole studio got to know you. I wanted to make these decisions that tapped into those memories. So when you saw this, it felt familiar.
It is beautiful. Was there anything that surprised you?
It was good. It was so challenging because it made me push myself. It took me out of my comfort zone.
Well, it looks fantastic.
Oh,
In fact,
my
I'm
God.
going to have a suit made with this pen.
You know how long I've been wanting this woman to do something with and for me.
It was an honor.
I mean,
it was an honor.
We did it.
Segment 4. The ceremony. On Thursday, June 18th, the night before the public doors opened, the Obama Presidential Center held its dedication ceremony at John Lewis Plaza. And June 18th, a night for the ages. The word star-studded does not begin to cover what happened there. All 4 living former presidents were there. Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Joe Biden, who Obama called family in his first remark, former First Ladies Jill Biden, Laura Bush, and Hillary Clinton, former Vice President Kamala Harris, former world leaders including Angela Merkel and Justin Trudeau, former presidents seated together, and the performers, Stevie Wonder, Bruce Springsteen, Bono and The Edge from U2, Christina Aguilera, John Legend, Jennifer Hudson, a Chicago native and EGOT Award winner, opening with the national anthem. Common and the Roots. Edie Vedder. The ceremony ended with all of them together on stage. Let me show you this clip.
America, when the war is won, the world, we will be sure, so sure, we will be sure. Oh, glory, glory, oh, glory, glory. Grab your ticket and your suitcase. Thunder's rolling down the strip.
See trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I will fly through the sky after it's all said and done.
In your city of blinding lights,
give me something I'm lacking. I don't need nothing. You are my everything. Oh yeah, only me and you. Only me and you.
With the Obamas dancing on stage. In the audience, Oprah Winfrey, Tom Hanks, Anne Hathaway, civil rights legends Andrew Young and Al Sharpton.
I think the significance of the day is it shows that 2 young black people, President and Mrs. Obama, came from the south side of Chicago, and they rose all the way to being president and first lady of the United States, but they did not have amnesia. They came back to the very ground that their seeds were planted to show you can blossom even in unlikely places. So they didn't just preach hope, they personified hope. They personified the journey, and that's in the quotation that is on the building, is to give a nation and a world hope that we can beat the odds if you're determined to do it. And I think in the time that we're looking at now, it's a very, very appropriate time. I must say that it's interesting to me, and as a minister, I say it's providential, on the day that we open this center and what President Obama meant, that we see the disaster in this Iran deal of what Trump means. But the reason I'm not despaired with Trump is because I have the hope of Obama.
Comedians David Letterman, Conan O'Brien, and Stephen Colbert, tennis icon Billie Jean King, and notably, conspicuously, the current president of the United States was not in attendance, was not mentioned by any speaker, was not acknowledged by any performer. The ceremony was not about him. In fact, it was the most powerful possible rebuttal to everything he represents, without ever saying his name. All four living former presidents, Stevie Wonder, Bruce Springsteen, Jennifer Hudson, Oprah, Bonner. Segment 5, Michelle gave him his flowers, and he cried. Michelle Obama dedication ceremony remarks, June 18, 2026. Now let me tell you about the moment that broke people open. Michelle Obama took the stage, tissue in hand. She warned the crowd, quote, "I got my tissue. I don't know about all of you," end quote. And then she delivered a speech that left her husband and thousands of people in tears. Let me show you this clip of Michelle Obama's speech at the dedication ceremony.
Well, my goodness. I got my tissue in hand. I don't know about all of you. Wow. Hello, everyone, and what a beautiful day, right? Nothing like a project by my husband to bring out the sun. Let me start by thanking Addison for that magnificent introduction and for exemplifying the heart, excellence, and determination that has blossomed right here on the South Side for a very long time. I also want to send some love to everyone who made this day a reality. The construction workers, landscapers, designers, the architects, artists, chefs, our staff, our board members, our donors. Barack and I simply cannot thank you enough for the care and brilliance you poured into every square inch of this campus. I also want to recognize all of the elected officials and distinguished leaders from around the city, the state, the country, and yes, the world. Thank you for being here to celebrate with us, especially to all of my fellow formers, to Joe and Jill, George and Laura, Bill and Hillary. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for your service to our country over so many years. And for your constant friendship and support of our family. We love you guys, truly. Oh, to our daughters, Malia and Sasha, who will always be my babies. Even though we're no longer playing hide and seek on the South Lawn with Bo. or hosting sleepovers in the solarium. I see a lot of some sleepover girls here. You both have grown into such brilliant and beautiful young women, making your way out there in the world. Thank you for bringing so much joy and spirit and energy to a life you had no voice in choosing, and for making us proud every step of the way. Love you, babe. Oh, so please indulge me for a moment, because I'm gonna take a little time to do something that I know my husband will not do today, and that is to fully sing his praises. Barack, you gotta look at me. You told me all those years ago that you couldn't promise me the world, but you could promise me an interesting life. And of course, you outdid yourself and managed to give me both. I know it hasn't always been easy, but there hasn't been a single second through this experience that standing by your side hasn't left me in awe. 8 years in the crucible, and not once did you melt from the heat. Not once did you let it harden you. Instead, you used it to reveal your truest essence, your stubborn optimism and unflinching courage, your dazzling brilliance and unpretentious decency, your ferocious work ethic, and absolutely unshakable moral fiber. And to do it all as a first, and the higher standard that comes with all that, the claims that a U.S. senator and constitutional law expert wasn't qualified for the job, the lies about your birthright, your faith, your patriotism, the outrage when you stated the biological fact that if you'd had a son, that he too would be black. Yet, you were unflappable at every turn, always focused, always calm, always looking at the long view. How absurd it is to even imagine that you might have buckled under the pressure even once, lashed out in frustration, lost your temper. How absurd it is to imagine that you might have done anything but make our family and this entire country proud.
She was clear about her intention from the first sentence. Quote, "I'm going to take a little time to do something that I know my husband will not do today," end quote. She said, quote, "and that is to fully sing his praises," end quote. She described 8 years in what she called the crucible of the presidency. She said, quote, "Not once did you melt from the heat. Not once did you let it harden you. Instead, you used it to reveal your truest essence, your stubborn optimism, and unflinching courage, your dazzling brilliance and unpretentious decency, your ferocious work ethic and absolutely unshakable moral fiber," end quote. When she told him to look at her, he looked down. He already knew he wouldn't be able to hold it together. The crowd saw it. The world saw it.
You always gave us the very best within you. And in doing so, you reminded the rest of us that we could too. Barack, there are no words to express how proud I am of the way you showed up and continue to show up every single day. It has been an honor to be by your side. You have made me a better person and have given us all an example that we should strive to emulate. And I hope you know, there is truly no higher calling than that.
She told him, quote, "You told me all those years ago that you couldn't promise me the world, but you could promise me an interesting life. And of course, you outdid yourself and managed to give me both." And then she made something very clear. This center is not about a man. Barack and I have always said that. This center is grounded in our stories, but it has never been about us. It's never been for us. And it's going to be here long after we're gone. So what it becomes, that work has to be done by all of us. Just like our democracy. Segment 6, Barack responds, quote, "She did me wrong," end quote. When Barack Obama finally took the stage, he opened with a laugh, because that is exactly who he is. He said, "To Michelle, she did me wrong. She wouldn't let me see her speech. She knew she was going to mess me up, but she did it anyway. But she's always made me better, and I could not be more grateful," end quote. Let me show you this clip of Barack Obama's opening remarks, his response to Michelle's speech.
Hello, Chicago. Sweet home, Chicago. Please have a seat. Thank you, Akunyili, for that outstanding introduction. President and Mrs. Bush, President and Secretary Clinton, thank you for being with us today and for your devotion to our country. And President and Dr. Biden, thank you for your steadfast partnership for 8 years. Joe, we started as running mates and ended as family. And we would not be here without you. And we are grateful. As we've made the trip, I cherish our partnership together and all we got accomplished together. Thank you. To Michelle, she did me wrong. She wouldn't let me see her speech. She knew she was going to mess me up, and she did it anyway. But she's always made me better. And I could not be more grateful. And to Sasha and Malia, what can I say? You mean everything to me.
He paid tribute to Chicago, the city that shaped him. He described arriving at 23 years old in what he called a, quote, janky car, end quote, from New York, looking for something and finding it, block by block, on the South Side. And in a moment that captured exactly who this man is, he encouraged people, when they get inside the museum, to feel free to skip his speeches section if they needed to. There is so much more to see, too much to experience. This place is bigger than any one person's words.
I don't believe it, because for us to give up, for us to give in now, after all this country's been through, to cynicism and division would be a betrayal of our founding ideas, a betrayal of our faith. And I remain convinced that the overwhelming majority of Americans feel the same way. That as unsettled as we are, people aren't looking for perpetual anger and division. They are looking for fairness and common sense and mutual respect. That deep in our gut, We want to find a way to turn towards each other again, not further away. I believe this because I've seen it all across our country. In cities that have worked together to reclaim their streets from crime, in rural communities that have rebuilt their economy, in businesses that are finding new ways to make housing affordable, in those ordinary people in the Twin Cities who brave frigid temperatures, risk their own safety, standing shoulder to shoulder to look out for their neighbors and sometimes look out for strangers because they knew that was the right thing to do. I've seen it. And I've seen it in a new generation of leaders here and around the world, like Puniha and Addison. Leaders who are determined to make our governments and our economies and our societies work for everyone. Obama Foundation leaders like Hannah, a Food Corps member from rural Ohio who's helping ensure every child has access to at least one nourishing meal. Or George, an entrepreneur whose nonprofit helps get unused, unexpired medicine, often at no cost, to people who need it. Or Zuzana, a human rights lawyer in Poland, who's won more than 30 landmark cases. There are thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of these young people out there making a difference right now. And this center is devoted to lifting up their stories, giving them the tools and support they need to expand their impact. For while our work is nonpartisan, we are not values neutral. We have a point of view. The exhibits in the center are not meant to evoke nostalgia for some gauzy bygone era, some unattainable past that we can dream about and say, oh, we miss you, Barack. They're meant to remind us of who we can be, to remind us of what's possible, so we can forge ahead, clear-eyed and confident, and do the work that still needs to be done. We can learn from the past, but America's story isn't frozen in the past. It has chapters yet to be written, not by one person or a few people, not by Barack and Michelle, or anybody with a fancy title or a high office, but by all of us.
He closed with a call to resist cynicism, to resist despair, to hold on to the stubborn optimism that has defined his entire public life. The same message carved into the walls of the building behind him. You are America. Segment 7. Juneteenth. The doors opened to the people. And then came Friday, June 19th, 2026. The doors opened not to dignitaries, not to celebrities, to the people. Most of the campus is free, no ticket is needed. The gardens, the library, the playground, the sledding hill, the grilling area, the walking trails, the sky room at the top of the Tower, and the Hope and Change lobby, where that portrait lives. Walk right in. Museum tickets for the timed exhibit floors are $30. In line with other Chicago museums, with free days and discounts for Illinois residents. And those tickets sold out. Well into the fall season, officials expect between 600,000 and 1 million visitors every year. MsNow had multiple journalists on the ground, and the interviews they captured were powerful. Emotional, personal. People talked about what it felt like to simply be there. One grandmother brought her 4-year-old granddaughter because she wanted her to feel this moment. She told reporters, quote, "This will be written about in books," end quote. People described the opening as feeling like a family reunion, like a liberation. One visitor said, quote, "We look at Barack and Michelle as hope, and we want that hope," end quote. Let me show you this clip of MsNow's coverage of the community interviews from opening day on Juneteenth.
It was amazing. You do not want to miss this experience.
It seemed like they thought of everything. They wanted to make sure that the country was actually, shown.
And so inspirational. I mean, you left there with such a great feeling.
I found it to be totally inviting, enlightening, and excellent. I would come again. Obama, Michelle Obama, y'all working it.
It was fabulous, fantastic, extraordinary, magnificent, awesome, all the things. So for me, there's 2 standout moments. One, Michelle Obama's wardrobe, chef's kiss, and 2, the replica of the Oval Office.
Really, it's more than I even would have ever thought. We pulled up and we saw this amazing building here, and then the courtyard here, and then we walked around the side and saw that there's a playground. There's just more space everywhere. It's just been 10 times bigger than I even thought it was going to be in the first place, so it's been awesome.
The first vibes I got is a family reunion, especially on Juneteenth. It feels great. The vibe is amazing. We can't wait to go to the playground, see the things for the kiddies, and see the museum itself.
I don't think I've ever seen any of the presidential museum that is this gigantic and so awesome, bringing a lot of people from different parts of the world. It's a wonderful occasion.
When people say they don't know what Obama did for us, the evidence is inside that museum.
I think for both of us, we felt like, what's a more reverent way to recognize and celebrate Juneteenth? So what a beautiful way to celebrate the full togetherness and unity that was really represented and accomplished under the Obama administration. So I think that's the main reason why we wanted to come up today, was to commemorate that in some small way, in whatever way we could, and to hopefully get inspired that this didn't exist in the past, that this can happen again in the future. And that's what Michelle and Barack both stood for.
Tickets sold out through fall 2026. 600,000 to 1 million annual visitors expected. Most of the campus is full. Segment 8, what this moment means. Lower third, integrity, legacy, love. I want to take a moment to say something that doesn't require much analysis, just honesty. Commentary. I want to take a moment to say something that doesn't require much analysis. For personal enrichment, personal vendettas, and desperate obsession with tearing down anyone who represents what he could never be. And then this week happened. A man who served 8 years in the hardest job on earth, who came out of his marriage intact, his character intact, his humor intact, his dignity intact, who opened a center on his own South Side for the community on Juneteenth and told people to skip his section if they want to see more. That is the contrast. You don't need me to name it. You already felt it. This opening was not just a ribbon cutting. It was an answer to every attempt to erase history, to every attack on who we are and what we can become. That building stands. Those words on the wall stand. That love stands. Barack Obama could not promise Michelle the world, and he gave her both the world and an interesting life. That is a man who leads with love. That is what we honor today. Close call to action. That is today's episode of Exposed News Outlet. The Obama Presidential Center is open. It is beautiful, it is for us, and on a day that the world gave us Juneteenth and hope in the same breath. I think we needed this reminder. We have been here before. We have risen before, and we will rise again. If you found value in today's episode, please subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video, follow us across all platforms, please, and share this with someone who needs a dose of hope today. Drop your thoughts in the comments box below. Tell me what you thought of this moment and what it means to you. I'm your host, Andrea. This is Exposed News Outlet, where we shed light on topics that matter most. I'll see you in the next one.